Complicated
It
machinery.
happens to the best of us, Gerard.
I can't operate those complicated machines. Couldn't get my headset on, folks. Welcome back. Ugh. Little tongue twisted there. Welcome back. In the studio, we've got Richard Greenlee, and he is with Wrachet Events Group. Did I say that right?
Wrachet Entertainment Group.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Pardon me for that. So we were a little late getting that in there. And you're the president, CEO?
Owner, yes, sir.
The owner.
Mm-hmm.
Creator?
President, creator. Yeah.
Okay. An entrepreneur.
That's right.
All right. We know a little about that.
Oh,
so the big news, hopefully, is that we're going to have some concerts coming back.
Yes, we are. We're starting to open back up again. We're still socially distanced, playing, feeling out going forward. But we had our first one in November of last year. It was a sellout show, great group. We're having a whole series out at Renaissance, Twilight concerts. Our first one is April 24th.
Renaissance, for the benefit of our statewide audience, is in Ridgeland, not far from where we're sitting, just north of our point here. And it is kind of a multi-purpose shopping venue. And they had concerts in the past and didn't last year, right, because of COVID, or certainly limited, but now we're getting that cranked up again.
It is. C Spire had done some events there on site. And, Renaissance is a lifestyle center. It's a shopping center, but it's a very nice, lots of nice restaurants and shops. And they've been trying to get live music out there for a while, and I've been talking with Andrew Matisse and the group, and
developer, Andrew.
Andrew. And I was trying to model this series after Live at the Garden in Memphis, the Botanical Gardens up there.
Yeah.
They have a series up there. It's all 8 top tables. You buy a table for the season, very high-end, VIP-centric. And I was trying to work on that, and then COVID hit. And so we said, well, that's kind of perfect timing because we do these socially distanced pods. You could buy in 4, 6, or 8 top configurations and put on shows. And we had our first one last year, and it went well, and putting on 4 this year.
Yeah. All right, so give us a little idea of what the schedule looks like.
The first one, April 24th, it's an all-day event. Doors open at 1 p.m. and go until. We have 5 bands. The first one is a little group here called the Vamps. They'll come on at 2:30. After that, we've got Cedric Burnside project. Cedric Burnside, a great musician out of North Mississippi. Third is Brandon Taz Needlemeyer. People call him Taz. He is a guitar wonder. He was on Ellen DeGeneres' show at 10 years old. Colonel Bruce Hampton discovered him. He's played on stage. You name it, he's played on with them.
Yeah.
He's incredible. We follow with G-Love and the Juice, formerly G-Love and the Special Sauce. Big following. You should tour Widespread Panic. And we've closed with the Allman-Betts Band, which is basically the son of all the Allman brothers.
Okay.
Wayne and Devin Allman and Dickie Betts' son, and they are amazing.
How'd you get into this? I've known you for a long time. I didn't know you were in the music business like this, or the production business.
I have always loved music. That's my thing. I go to music and festivals all over the country.
Okay.
Always been into it, and I've known Arden Barnett for a while, and he's become a good friend of mine. I've helped him with festivals and shows for about 3 or 4 years, and we always talked about doing stuff together, and COVID presented an opportunity at the time, just like every other producer and promoter out there, it was just dead, no business, zero.
Yeah.
So I approached Arden about this socially distanced idea, and took a little coaxing, but we came together and said, yeah, we can do that. And Andrew Matisse and Renaissance was all for it, so we created a venue from scratch, never been done before, used architects and did the math and figured out social distancing and squares.
So what does that mean? Explain that. I want to go, for example. What does that mean as far as being socially distant? What's that going to look like?
We divided the big green space into 15 by 15 square foot pods, and between each of those are 6 by 6 rows. So you have to buy a 4, 6, or 8 person grid, and you have to stay in your grid, in your spot, with a table or chairs or your own chairs, and there's 6 feet between every grid. So it's like a big seating chart, but you're in your 4, 6, or 8 people. And
you're outside, so you got plenty of room to spread out and make that work. So are you going to have to do a temperature check and that sort of stuff before you come in?
We do. We're still following. When you come in, we'll have nurses there with a temperature check.
Yeah.
Have you coughed or had any symptoms? The temperature check. You walk
sign
in.
off. You're going to have to sign some releases?
You don't have to sign releases.
Okay.
No, just like anything else.
Just questions.
Questions. And when you go in, we were asked that you wear your mask anytime that you're in a common area. You go to your pod. In your pod, you do what you want to. Just like going to dinner. Take your mask off, sing, dance, whatever. You go to the restroom or the bar or the food. You go get your food and come back to your pod. You wear your mask just like anything else. All the restrooms are nice, trailer, air conditioned, heated, and no porta potties. Everything's very nice.
Yeah.
We had a really, really, really good show in November, and it went perfectly. All the patrons were perfect. There was you could walk down the aisle and just all the aisles were open. Nobody crashed in front of the stage. It was great.
Yeah. So what are you hearing in the industry about getting back to the shoulder to shoulder type concert going? Are we going to get back to that soon?
I think we are now. Everybody's all over the board on it. For instance, Mississippi, Texas, we opened up.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do it, you could, but as responsible promoters,
Sure.
we decided not to go shoulder to shoulder yet. April's April. We have more planned for June, July, and maybe by the fall. We just have to play it by ear and see what the kind of consensus where everybody is, not just we have to be responsible.
But it's being discussed in the industry because it's hurt some revenue not being able to do that.
It's just there's a lot. All business got hurt, but travel and entertainment, it's just zero.
Yeah.
At least sports, you have TV and you can.
Yeah.
Music, just nothing.
Right.
It's just dead. And it's you hear a lot of things. Of course, you'll hear like the CEO of Live Nation, and of course he's got stockholders, so he wants the most positive news.
Sure.
But realistically, I would say probably late summer, early fall, we'll be back to more of a normalized setting. But also, you have to remember a lot of these bands that are traveling buses and trucks. They're not getting a bus together. So the big truck and bus tours are not even planning anything. Because you have to plan those things years or months in advance. So they can't just open up and say, "Oh, we're ready to play again." So
Sure.
I think it'll be 2022 before you see a lot of the big tours back out in the arenas again.
I think people miss being shoulder to shoulder, frankly, at sporting events and concerts and other just sort of gatherings that we're all accustomed to. I think we've learned how much we enjoyed that now that we haven't been able to do it. It's one of those things, you don't know how good you got it until you don't have it situation. This is an example of that. So I think, first, this is obviously a great phasing in of it, and I respect you for coming up with the ideas and working through that to get some semblance of live music going again. And then we'll just phase into that eventually. But I think people are ready to get going again.
They are, and people are social animals. Since the beginning of time, since the Romans and the Colosseum and Shakespeare, we've been gathering, and it is really part of what we are.
Yeah.
People said, "Oh, it'll never go back to the way it." Well, it will, and it's going to go back the way it was.
People are missing it.
Yes,
I think this idea of just being holed up in your house or wherever you are and isolated and talking to everybody on computer screens, I think people are about done with it. Honestly, and some of that will continue and will linger and just be part of our overall communications, but it's still no substitute for live. Certainly music isn't. So we've had some Zoom type, right, virtual music concerts over the past year.
It's just not the same. I can turn on YouTube and watch that. It's just I try to get into that. It's not the experience. That's what we sell as experience. And music is great. We'll have great bands, but it's a social experience. And like I said earlier, our whole model was originally to go all tables.
Yeah.
Maybe not 15 feet apart. So that's what works best for that space out there. So I see us moving to, having tables and VIP up front and then some GA in the back, probably hopefully late summer.
And you said concessions, libations, et cetera, all available there, right?
Absolutely. And we have great local restaurants. Like, for instance, we have VIP up front that Kate Nukes, maybe others local restaurants will actually deliver. We have table delivery of food and beverage to your table up front.
Okay, so for the benefit of our audience, Kate, very high end, sort of seafood oriented restaurant in Renaissance where the venue is. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
And Nukes, Chris Nukes is great. They're one of our major sponsors, and I'll talk about sponsors in a minute. But we could not do this without our sponsors because, as you know, creating a venue from scratch out there, you're bringing in stages, fencing, security, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And even if we sell out at limited capacity of 1,500 people, it doesn't near cover the expense.
Yeah.
So without the sponsors, we couldn't even do this.
Totally makes sense. All right, so where do folks get tickets?
Ardenland.net.
Arden, A-R-D-E-N, right?
Land.net, Ardenland.
And quickly, before we go, tell us the schedule real quick. Who you got coming up?
2:30 is the Vamps.
Yeah.
Cedric Burnside after that. Then you've got G-Love and the Juice and Allman-Betts Band.
Okay. Speaking of which, There we go.
Yep, exactly.
Very cool. Richard Greenlee has been our guest. He's the owner-promoter of Wrachet Entertainment Group. He's got the concerts cranking up. Stay with us. We'll be back on the JT Show.